Valarr Qoherys, the Dragonlord Emperor of New Valyrian Empire and Eastern Valyrian Empire, met with his most trusted advisors and generals. The room was a picture of strategy and power. Maps sprawled across tables, the aroma of rich spices and fine wines lingering in the air. His eyes narrowed as he studied the layout of the free cities, the independent realms that had eluded Valyrian rule for centuries. The free cities of Lys, Tyrosh and Myr, with their wealth and resources, were the final stepping stones for Valar's ultimate goal, the unification of all Valyrian lands under his skull-emblazoned banners. The whispers of the prophecy grew stronger, urging him onward. His council debating the feasibility of such a daring move, but Valarr remained steadfast. His dragons had grown numerous and powerful, their roars a testament to the might of his empire. The time had come to strike westward to claim the riches and power that were rightfully his. The clink of goblets and the murmur of agreements filled the chamber as the final plans were set into motion. The free cities would soon know the fire and the fury of the dragons once more. With Valarr Qoherys' coronation complete, the city of Volantis transformed into the new capital of a unified Valyria. The once divided lands now bowed to the will of the Dragonlord Emperor. His reign brought a new order to Essos, a blend of the Valyrian traditions and culture of the local people. The streets of Volantis buzzed with the chatter of artisans, traders and diplomats, each bearing tales of the empire's rebirth. Yet, beneath the veneer of peace and prosperity, whispers of unrest grew louder in the shadows. Welcome, lords and ladies, travelers, adventurers, merchants, soldiers, commoners, and peasants. Welcome to a new tale about ashes of old Valyria. The last time Valarr Qoherys has conquered the empire of New Valyria from the House Varys' hands. He did not punish the House Varys or tried to extinguish it from existence, but he decided to work with it and save it. And they decided to cooperate with Valarr Qoherys, now proclaimed Emperor of New Valyria and Emperor of the Eastern Valyrian Empire. Our Dragonlord Emperor decided that it's time to reclaim the free cities. The free cities of Lys, Tyrosh and Myr. Pentos was already in the New Valyrian Empire, conquered by the Varys. This conquest westward will expand the borders and reintegrate the former daughters of the old Valyria, but they will become again daughters of New Valyria. Until then, Valarr decided to call his generals, his advisors, and to discuss about this invasion that will be landed by the sea and above on dragons. Of course, this Tyrosh mirror does not have dragons, but they have fleets and armies of sellswords, pirates, peasants, and slaves. Their wealth can bring an army that will match the new Valyrian army. But they do not have dragons. And the new Valyrian Empire is vast and full of resources that can handle these 3 cities. Our beloved Valarr will begin his invasion as planned. Our Dragonlord Emperor Valarr will now send diplomats to Myr, Tyrosh and Lys to declare war, beginning with Lys. And the last, but not the least, will be Myr. Elena Targaryen has decided to join our court. More dragon riders, powerful dragons like Valyrian. One of the last dragons that I have seen Valyria alongside Valarr. Let's raise up the army. Oh, so the 3 cities have decided to bend the knee. First was the Lys, second was Tyrosh, and the last was Myr. The war ended without bloodshed. Emperor Valarr will declare now the status of the empire. Valarr, the Dragonlord Emperor of New Valyria, looked upon the kneeling representatives of Lys, Tyrosh and Myr with a mix of satisfaction and contemplation. The conquest had been swift and decisive, but he knew that the true power lay in unity, not fear. His eyes searched the room, lingering on the faces of the once proud Free Cities envoys. He took a deep breath. The scent of victory and the heady perfume of the surrendered lands heavy in the air. Valarr Qoherys, Dragonlord Emperor of New Valyria and Eastern Valyria, has conquered Lys, Tyrosh and Myr without a man dying. Only the fear of his many dragons has led to these 3 cities to surrender and to send their envoys kneeling when the declaration of wars had come from the court of New Valyria. Now, New Valyria has secured the trade cities, but in the north Norvos and Loraf, two lost daughters, remained unconquered. But soon he will strike again north, not only for the two daughters that were lost, but to destroy a bastard one, Bravos, one that had eluded Valyria for many centuries, from the times of old Valyria till this new Valyria. But this time, the bastard daughter, will enter under Valyrian rule. Our emperor here will now hold a feast for all to come to his court and to celebrate this victory, that no blood has been spilled and nothing bad has happened. While the people were gathering from all corners of the new Valyrian Empire, the feast has begun, and the tale of it is like this. The victory feast in Volantis was a spectacle to behold. The grand hall of the Triarch's palace gleamed with the light of 1,000 candles, reflecting off the golden scales of Valorax. The Emperor's eyes danced with the flames' reflections as he surveyed the sea of faces before him, a mix of jubilation and trepidation. The conquered lords and ladies of Lys, Tyrosh, and Myr sat in silence, awaiting their fate. Valar's voice, a blend of fiery passion and an icy command, resonated through the chamber. "People of the free cities," he began, "today marks the end of your isolation. You stand before the dawn of a new era, one of unity and strength, under the banner of the Dragonlord Emperor." He paused, allowing the gravity of his words to sink in before continuing. "You shall not be ruled by fear, but by the promise of prosperity and protection that comes with being part of the great Valyrian legacy." The room erupted in a mix of cheers from his loyalists and muted murmurs of the conquered. Valarr raised his goblet, filled with the finest arbor gold, and offered a toast to the future. The clink of goblets and the smell of roasting meats filled the air as the tension slowly gave way to a cautious optimism. The dragon's eyes gleamed, reflecting the fires of ambition and the promise of a new Valyria. Valarr Qoherys, now at the feast, has held a speech that imposed unity and not fear of repression. People cheered in his name, not all, but most of them. Most enough to see that people respect and love him. The feast will be held as soon as possible. Each year to celebrate the founding of the city of Volantis, chariots race side by side along the battlements of the Black Walls. My guests will surely be impressed if I sponsor this year's race as entertainment for my feast. Of course, bring me the finest charioteers in Volantis. Valarr said. The best part about preparing a feast is deciding what foodstuff to serve. I must purchase venison, boar and duck, spices, wine and ale, honey for the desserts, cheese and perhaps even a swan or a peacock. Spend enough on food to satisfy everyone's hunger. Most of the preparations for the feast has been made, now I only have to send out the invitations. The upcoming feast has attracted the attention of a young Itish named courtier Zunzai. This man is currently on a tour of the cities and lands of the region, and would like to attend your feast whilst in Volantis. Yeah, you are, of course, welcome, my esteemed guest. Well, not everyone likes us. It's understandable. The conjurer produced a rabbit from a hat, then made a handkerchief change color from brown to red, and then he simply vanished from the room, only to knock on the door and open it a few seconds later. You must perform at my feast. The guests have finally arrived in old Volantis. They have been given bread and salt, as it's their right guest right. All is now ready. The cooks have worked day and night preparing the food. Our stocks of pale ale have been replenished, and the keep has never looked lovelier. Welcome to my feast. News from Sambiar, your Imperial Majesty. A new dragon has entered the world. Deoril Sonarian has apparently successfully hatched one, and has named the he-dragon for Naxis. Good for her. The chariot race upon the black wall is about to begin. You and guests watch a 6-4 horse chariots charge side by side around the great oval of fused black dragonstone. By the end, everyone is most enthusiastic as the feasting resumes. We are thanked for the year's sponsorships. I trust it was a fine spectacle. Master Valarr Qoherys has used his attendance of the feast in old Volantis to present a petition for justice before the court. He claims that Rael made an attempt on the life of one of his kinsmen and demands that she is brought to justice for attempted murder. Let's see if this is true. I don't think this is true. Prince Valarr, why are you lying? She is innocent. Rael is clearly not guilty of these accusations. I started talking to one of my guests at the feast and found them most interesting. Hours flew by, wine bottles were emptied, other guests excused themselves and went to bed, but we kept talking until the wee hour. Besa, Valyrian. I haven't ever met a more fascinating person. A new friend has been acquired. Jorea has used her attendance of the feast in old Volantis to present a petition for justice before the court. She claims that Sena had her kinsman Denela Neor murdered and demands that she is brought to justice for this outrageous crime. It is true. Sena must be arrested and made to answer for this. Sena managed to avoid my guardsmen and has fled to the court of Lord Aerithos in the Axe. Let her cower in fear. A petitioner by the name of Davo Sagone requested a small grant of coin and lands, for he claims to have served loyally in the war against Lys and has suffered great losses as a result. Well, I'll give you some money because you are my soldier, but we didn't spill any blood. I don't know how you lost a lot. Maybe your family at home lost someone, I don't know, but I'll compensate you. I'm a good general and emperor. On Zalgon. This looks very nice. Very beautiful dragon indeed. The last of the guests has returned home, and everyone agreed it was this year's greatest feast. I had great fun, and so did everyone else. Indeed, it was a fun year to be in. The western part of Essos was almost all of it conquered except Brabos. But news from Westeros have arrived. Dorne has conquered the Summerfield Lordship and the Dornish marshes, and the Stormlands are now vulnerable. Even though King Duran the 1330 has fought a lot of enemies, but in vain. He didn't defeat the Dornish. The Reach has expanded into the river, into the Trident, in the lands of the rivers. In the north, is now controlled by Magnar Toreg, the Widowmaker, the conqueror of the north. He's now the king of the north. But he has a rebellion, as I see. He also has Winterfell and conquered Karstark. Interesting, very interesting. But now faces a rebellion. Against Magnar Toreg, and he will lose, I see. Even here in the north, Starks are still alive, I see. But who knows what lies in the north, while the wildlings hold the wall and the north. This empire of the wildlings is most dangerous for even the northerners and the southerners. But nonetheless, they will eventually prevail if they want to. Back home, our dragons have reached a peak I've never seen. We have a lot of dragons around, not only from Valarr's seed, but also from the other dragon seeds. An Altarian dragon has now 2 hatchlings, 1 hatchling and 1 tiny dragon. They had 1, but this died sick and misshapen. House Urnebar, they had a Rovax, but he died. But the 3 eggs that managed to be hatched from Rovax Now, brief hope in the Dragonlord dynasty that has survived the doom. 3 hatchlings have survived: Xehanort, Laraxis, and Prumiax. On the other side, we have the House Targaryen, ruled by Prince Gaemon the Glorious of Dragonstone, and his dragon Urax. His dragon, Urax, have produced many dragons also, and many eggs, but the dragons are still to be hatched. In the Trident, King Erich II has taken over the Trident after Adam IV has conquered it, and he died by backstabbers, by the hands of backstabbers. Nonetheless, the branch of House Varese dragons are still around. They have 4 dragons, including Vessarion. Vessarion, the great dragon of Daenerys Varese, is one of the most powerful dragons in Essos. Onzalgon, another dragon that is indeed a good dragon, and he can now fight in the future wars. Nonetheless, our huge empire spans from the shores of Sotorios to the north, that touches even the sea in the north, and the Bitterweed Bay. But soon to engulf all of the old Valyrian borders and even more, as our beloved emperor prepares a new plan. That he will expand his realm till the Sarn Delta, and including the Delta, isolating Sarnor by rivers and forging borders by natural borders. Sarn Delta is one of it, and the Sarn River. Often it's little rivers like here in Porbath, and soon to form a wall against the raids of the Fraki. But it's heard to be dangerous. But who knows what the plans of Valar will be in the future. As the story today has been told, our beloved Valar has now conquered 3 states by just fear of his dragons and might. He now will resume to a peace, to see the realm prosper for 5 years. And after that, he will attack Norvos and Lorath, and after that Braavos, and secure his new empire future for his sons and his great grandsons. So brave warriors, adventurers, travelers, merchants, soldiers, commoners and peasants, this was the tale of our beloved Dragonlord, the Emperor of the Valyrian Empire. reborn one, the new Valyria that will rise from the ashes of old Valyria. But now threats are contained with his death, who will maybe bring civil war and destruction. Who knows how he will manage to contain all of this. He knew from the beginning when more dragon eggs have been hatched and more dragons hatchlings have been born into the world. He knew that this can mean destruction. He knew that in the Freehold, the Dragonlord families didn't go to war against each other because they knew destruction will come. And not only that, but only they will destroy their reputation and their dynasties. Because if one will assume control over the all with the dragons, all will come against them. It was a rule, an untold rule in Valyrian society. But now, because one emperor rules everything, even the Dragonlords and other Dragonlord families, who knows what will happen in the future. But Valarr pleased all his sons, from the bastards to the trueborns, made a lord paramount of the North Valyria, Valyrian, and the heir of the new Valyria, one of the most powerful positions he can give in the new Valyrian realm. After that, one of his sons, Qoherys Darakar, has been killed by backstabbers. Some say that a wife killed him, but who knows? Prince Orion is now commander of the Black Wall, one of the prestigious positions in old Volantis. Master Baylor of the West Gate, or Baylor World Skull, a bastard of House Varesis, has been given a castle of the West Gate in Volantis. Prince Maelys has been given a title in Gozai under the rule of his brother. Aemond has been given a title and a palace, the castle of Blood Palace in old Volantis. Oris has been given title of Master over the castle of Izulepsia. Rhaegar the Gallant, or Rhaegar Red Skull, has been given a whole title in the Volantine disputed lands and the plains of Magis. Valarr Qoherys has been given the title Master of the Castle of a New Palace in New Volantis. And Maelor is still a kid. Shaira is the same. They have not been given any lands or married to important people. But Valyria became a storm singer of Volantis, of New Volantis. Her talents will help the future of New Valyria as a whole. And now, my friends, travelers, soldiers, adventurers, merchants, commoners, and peasants, thank you for listening to my tale of Valarr Qoherys and this chapter from the ashes of old Valyria.